Okay, so now we're going to show you how to set up a drip campaign. You will have already needed to go in and set up preset email templates in order for you to take the next step to set up the campaign. Previous videos showed you how to set up templates, email templates, and also how to set up your email account within the system so that the emails will go out. So you want to watch both videos on setting up your email account and also setting up email templates. Now we take the next step to set up a drip campaign, and to clarify what a drip campaign is, that just means a series of emails that you might set up to go out for anyone in your database who might follow suit into that particular type campaign that you're setting up. So let's get started. Like I said, you probably already have a number of emails already set up, and if you don't, you need to do that first. But let's click on the Mailing Center and go over to the Mailing Piece Library just to see what you might have set up in there. If you don't already have anything set up, then you will want to come in here and start composing mailing pieces. You may be working at a brokerage or a team that already has some global emails set up, and if that's the case, the emails might look like this. They won't have a red X next to them. If it's an email that you've written and you are part of a team or a brokerage and you've got your own account, then that would be a red X. That would be an email that you wrote. So in my example here, we actually have a number of emails that were written over a time frame, and we're going to go ahead and build a campaign from these emails. So we're going to click on Campaigns and Blasts. Now we are in Mailing Center and we're coming over to click on Campaigns and Blasts. And we are going to create a campaign. You can see there's a number of campaigns in here already. The ones that do not have the X's are global, that are here for the brokerage, and all the others were the ones that I set up inside my own personal account here. So I'm going to create a campaign. And when we do that, we're going to go through a list of all of the emails that are in the system and pick out the ones we want that match this particular campaign. When I click on this, you can see it will default automatically to start setting up a campaign for future use. You have options to build a campaign and send it out immediately, or to just send out a single email, just one email, and blast it out to a number of people. And that is a possibility if you want to do that. But right here, we're going to go ahead and set it up for future use. So this will be a template that could be used for any person in the database. So we don't ever want to be putting anything specific to that, any particular leads in there. If it's a campaign for new buyers or sellers, that's what we're doing. So let's go ahead and name this campaign, and we are going to call this New Buyer Campaign. And this is in a list that we will see when we come in. You can add a description to this further than the campaign name if you want to. I choose not to at this point because looking at this, I know what the campaign is going to be. And then you can also choose from various number email accounts you might have already previously set up in the system. I'm just going to go ahead and use my company email that I use all the time. And then you also have a choice to add a letterhead to every email that goes out. I'm going to choose not to do that right now, but you can do that. And also, you also have a choice to be notified and to confirm an email as the email is pre-scheduled to go out. It will pop up and tell you it's time to send this one out. Do you want to do that? If you're setting it up for automated marketing, it doesn't make sense to click this button, but that's totally up to you what your reasons are for the campaign. You might want to read them all before they go, and then you might want to make some adjustments to the letters. But at this point, we're using it as a marketing campaign, so I just want them all to go out, and it would just be defeating the purpose for me to be notified and have to confirm every letter as they go. So in order to get it first set up, I'm going to go ahead and select mailing pieces for this campaign. I've got them pre-written already. I'm fine with that. If I wanted to come in at this point and add some new mailing pieces in here, I could do it as well by clicking on this. But since I have a whole bunch of mail in here already, I'm going to go ahead and use the letters that are on the list. Now when you're choosing when to mail the letters out, you have a choice. If you look over here, you could be a choice to start the letter on the day, start the campaign on the day that you turn it on. So for instance, if I was to put a 0 in on this very first letter, if I chose to, I'm just going to go and pick out 5 or 6 letters that I want to send out. But if I choose, I could send a letter out today when the campaign goes on. I could also choose to send a letter out on a particular date. If I clicked here, you would see dates that you could set them to go out on in the future, not necessarily, anything you'd want to do probably on a template that's going to be used for many people. But if it's something that makes sense, like a holiday, for Christmas or New Year's, or you want to send out a settlement statement, you might want to choose to pick a date at the end of the year to send this particular letter out. In our case, we're going to have it go from the day that the campaign is turned on. So I'm going to go ahead and start the first letter today. 0 means today. And then I'm going to pick another letter out. Let's see, this is a new buyer, so I might go down here and pick out buyer first letter. I'm going to send that one out tomorrow. 1 means tomorrow, 0 means today. And then I might want to pick another one out that is maybe, I don't know, a week or so out. I'll go 7, and then I'll do another one that's 14 days out. So I'll go out here and pick up this one, do they need a lender, and pick up that. So obviously all these letters have been pre-written. I know what they all say, so I would make a decision on what would make sense to send out in what order. And then once I have chosen all the letters, in this case I have 4 letters that are going out over a 2-week period, I will go down and I'll hit select. And when I do that, it will load up the 4 letters that I've chosen, and you can see that I have the start dates in this order. Today a letter will go out if I was to turn a campaign on for one of the leads. Today the letter would go today. The one will go tomorrow, and one will go a week from now, one will go 14 days from now. In 2 weeks, when I have a new lead, when I turn it on, it's going to go in the same order. If I turn it on that day, whatever day that is I get the lead in 2 weeks, a letter will go out that particular day. One will also go out the next day, and then a week from then, and then 2 weeks from then. So you can understand how that works. At this point, I could also say, well, I want those letters to go out on specific dates if I choose. But again, because this is a marketing I'm going to use all the time, I'm just going to go ahead and keep it in the order I have it. And it can go out for indefinite amount of years if you want. Right now I'm just showing you as an example I can go out for 2 weeks. I'm going to hit save. And when I do that, you can see my campaign right here. Now the next thing is, how do I get it to go and be sent to a particular client? Well, I could do it from here by clicking Assign a Campaign. But I'm actually going to show you, if I wanted to send it to a particular lead in the system, I'm going to hit Contacts, and I could go and run a search for a particular lead. Let's just pull up every Patty in here. And these are leads that I have in here that were tests. And then I could go in and just pick out any particular Patty that I want to send it out to. And you can see that there's already notes loading up in here, and I'm going to go over here and click Mailings. By the way, as the letters are going out, they will you will see it stack up in here as they start to go out up here in the interaction history, which is nice because you can track all the letters that are going. So when I click on Mailings, I can then go. You notice here it says Do Not Mail. It's because I asked it to unsubscribe from this person, never to get any more mail. So I'm going to make sure I turn that back on in this case so that that person will get the mail. And I'm going to go. At this point, I have a choice to send a mailing piece or an entire drip campaign to turn on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on the blue mailing piece button, and over to the right, click on Assign a Drip Mail Campaign. And I'm going to pick the campaign out that I just built, which is here, and I'm going to go to Next. And as I do that, all the letters are going to load up again. At this point, I can just be sure that I do indeed want all of these to go out. If for some reason I choose I don't want this letter to go, I could kick this one out by simply clicking on the X and saying, oh, I don't want that one to go. I want them all to start here. So I have that choice. You can also go in here and change the email address that the letters are going to be coming from if you want to do that. I have the start of the campaign on the 17th. I have a choice to go out and kick it out a couple weeks if I don't want to start it for another week. If I do that, then the first letter is going to go out on the 27th, one day after the start of the campaign. So you can understand how that works, right? If I wanted it to start today, then I would probably go back to the 17th and click the 17th and hit save. Now it's all set up and ready to go. Now if I go back out and return to my list and go back into Patty Anderson again, I think it was this one. The one I was just on was, I believe it was this one. I have a couple in here. Then I can go in and I can actually see what I've done. And I've picked the wrong campaign. Oh, no, there it is. So I can see all the letters that are due to go out. So we're all set to go. This just shows you here, I can see them all. If I want to shut the entire campaign off, I'm simply going to click the blue header button X and click that and get OK, and no letters will go out. They will all stop. And that's an easy, fast way to turn the whole entire thing off. If you click OK to mail, you could also prevent the mail from going out by just turning them off so they never receive anything. But keep in mind, if you do that, no future mail of any sort will ever go to this person either. So I would suggest that you probably leave that on in case later on you do want to send them something else. So that shows you how to turn on the campaigns. Hope this helps, and we'll take the next step and do some more fun marketing in the next video.